Thank you, President Jason. Today is a really great day. Fellow Rotarians and guests, on behalf of the Madison Rotary Scholarship Committee, we are very pleased to introduce you to our 2019 class of Rotary Scholars. Class of 2019, please stand. What an amazing group. Now you may be seated. These 25 ambitious high school students have graduated from area high schools and will be going on to colleges in the fall. And you, Rotarians, will give lift to their aspirations with the awarding of scholarships, bold, audacious scholarships that count big time. And I'll come back to that in just a minute. First, I wish to introduce you to the people who have been very influential to our young 2019 scholars thus far in their lives, those who have brought them to this point. Will the parents, families, and guardians of our 2019 scholars please stand? Thank you for the support and encouragement you have given your children. I've met every single one of them, and you have lots of reasons to be very, very proud. I'm in my 6th year of serving on the Madison Rotary Scholarship Committee, and with each year I become increasingly aware of the behind-the-scenes network of people who tirelessly work with our students in helping them prepare for their college. The high school counselors and teachers and administrators. Now it's your turn to stand, as we thank you very much for your hard work. Okay, so Rotarians, let's talk about the magnitude of what we are all doing, what these scholarships really mean. We have a new group of scholars for 2019, 25 of them, and all of them come to us because our scholarship makes a much needed difference to them. And scholars, each of you are here today because of your strong personal character and academic potential. And we are amazed that at 17 or 18 years of age, you have already given so generously to your community and to your families. College is an investment. Our Rotary scholarships seriously help decrease the financial gap of what these promising young adults need. We have over 100 scholars in college right now, and this year we will distribute $320,000 from our Madison Rotary Foundation. $80,000 of that going to our new incoming class, and it will continue over 4 years. This is an award, scholars, you will receive each year of your college career. It helps you with what you need, but it's generally not everything you need. And with that in mind, we hope you'll take care to keep your student debt at a bare minimum. Scholars and Rotarians, please meet some of the people who make this happen. We have 15 named scholarships, and some of the donors are with us today. When I read your name, please stand and we'll acknowledge you as a group. Mark, Phil, and Jeff Levy, Regina Milner, Perry Henderson, Dick Goldberg, Kip Frauchi, representing the Family Fund of John J. Frauchi. Please give them a round of applause. David Warzella is not here today. He's moved to Massachusetts, and so his gift keeps living on right here in Madison. In addition, we have Rotarians who are no longer with us. Nathan Brand, Robert Boltz, Frederick Brandenburg, Harry French, Virginia Henderson, Louis Herzig, Thomas Leonard, Andrew Macbeth, and Cheryl Weston. Our Synergy Fund was created in 2008, and it allows Rotarians to give in any amount. All right, so all those Rotarians who have given to the Synergy Fund, will you please stand? Let's hope. Yeah. It all adds up, scholars. You go to college with a goal to graduate, and Rotarians, we show our belief in their abilities and support them along the way. So now, let's meet our class of 2019 Rotary Scholars. Marcy Henderson, fellow member of the Rotary Scholarship Committee, please do the honors.
Thank you, Robin, for your leadership. Hello, everyone. I have the pleasure of introducing the amazing group of 2019 Rotary Scholars. I'm going to introduce you in groups by high school. I ask that each scholar stand as I say your name and remain standing until I've introduced all the scholars from your high school. And if we could all hold our applause until the end of each high school, that would be great. Our first school is East High School. Alicia Caldwell will be attending Madison College in the transfer program and is a recipient of the Bowles Scholarship. Tenzin Chuki, regrettably, is unable to be with us today due to a health issue, but she will be attending the UW-Madison and is a recipient of a Levy Scholarship. Palke Jenkep will be attending UW-Madison and is a recipient of the French Scholarship. Yuhin Lei will also be attending UW-Madison and is a recipient of the Levy Scholarship. Tenzin Numjel will be attending UW-Madison and is also a recipient of the Levy Scholarship. Please join me in applause for these East High School students. You may be seated. Our next scholars are from Edgewood High School. Jesse Giroux will be attending Bennington College and is a recipient of the Levy Scholarship. Patricia Torres will be attending Viterbo College and is a recipient of both the Synergy and the French Scholarships. Please join me in congratulating them. Our next group of scholars are from La Follette High School. Honoria Hare will be attending Illinois State University and is a recipient of the Warzala and the Brandenburg Scholarships. Eduardo Castillo Hernandez will be attending UW-Milwaukee and is a recipient of both the Synergy and the Macbeth Scholarships. Amy Cabrera will be attending UW-Milwaukee and is a recipient of the Levy Scholarship. Sydney Olson is planning to attend Aurora University and is also a recipient of the Levy Scholarship. Abraham Ruiz will be attending UW-Whitewater and is a recipient of both the Milner and the French Scholarships. Please join me in welcoming them. The next group of scholars come to us from Memorial High School. Yancy Almonte will be attending UW-Madison and is a recipient of the Macbeth Scholarship. Cesar Gomez will be attending Edgewood College and is a recipient of the Levy Scholarship. Jella Harris will be attending UW-Milwaukee and is a recipient of the Hersig Scholarship. Rahima Osman will be attending UW-Madison and is a recipient of the Levy Scholarship. We have 3 students who will be recognized from Middleton High School. Jennifer Carranza will be attending Madison College in the transfer program and is a recipient of both the Weston and the French Scholarships. Ayan Chung will be attending UW-Madison and is also a recipient of the Macbeth Scholarship. Jesus Ramirez will be attending Madison College in the transfer program and is a recipient of the Levy Scholarship. There are 2 students from Monona Grove High School. Ellie Everts will be attending Carthage College and is a recipient of the Brand Scholarship. Jacob Marks will be attending UW Stout and is a recipient of the Leonard Scholarship. And now our final group from West High School, Pamela Flores Sanchez will be attending UW-Madison and is a recipient of the Frauchi and the French scholarships. Manu Sathun Chahar will be attending UW-Milwaukee and is a recipient of the Goldberg and the French scholarships. Savannah Montgomery will be attending at Xavier University and is a recipient of the Henderson and the French scholarships. And Virginia Quartek will be attending UW-Madison and is also a recipient of the Levy Scholarship. What an honor it was to introduce these amazing young people. Please welcome fellow Rotary Scholarship Committee member Oscar Morales to the podium, who will introduce our keynote speaker.
Thanks a lot, Marcy. I have the privilege of introducing our featured speaker for today, Trent Jackson. Trent is Senior Director of Development at the University of Wisconsin Foundation. At UW Foundation, Trent is spearheading Chancellor Rebecca Blank's Diversity and Inclusion Initiative as part of a $3.2 billion capital campaign known as Always Forward. Trent has more than 20 years of philanthropy and executive level management experience, and also serves as a commissioner on the Madison Police and Fire Commission. He earned his BS in Applied Economics and an MBA from UW-Madison. Many of you remember him best as a 2-time MVP for UW basketball before playing professionally in the NBA, Europe, and Asia for 9 years. This fall, Trent Jackson is being inducted into the UW Athletic Hall of Fame. Let's give the great big Badger welcome to the podium today. Thank you, Trent.
Thank you. Man, that's quite a mouthful there. That, you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to be shy. I'm going to do this. I'm going to take a photo. This is the largest crowd I've ever spoken in front of. And not the largest crowd I've ever been in front of, but that's good. All right, we got that out of the way. I do want to thank a few people. I want to thank my support team here. My beautiful wife, Kathy, she was introduced earlier. She works for SOHE, the UW School of Human Ecology. And my good friend, Rudy Fleetner, who's a colleague of mine at the foundation. And Tracy McClure, she was introduced as well. But Tracy is, if Kathy is my right arm, my right side, Tracy is my left side. So I'd like to thank them for being here today. And I'd like to congratulate all of the scholarship recipients. I'm telling you, this, it just made my stomach flip over, because you are approaching upon a golden opportunity here. Someone is going to support you and assist you in your educational pursuits. And growing up on the west side of Chicago as a kid who I like to say we were so poor that we owed people stuff. That's how poor we were. We didn't have anything, but we owed people stuff. And the chance to come to a place like Wisconsin and earn my applied economics degree, the one thing that people said, hey, don't take economics. That's crazy. Don't major in that. But that was the very thing I wanted to major in. You tell me not to do something, that's the thing I want to try. And then to go back later and get my MBA, and it's changed my life. I'm standing here before you today because of my education. So I'd like to give the families, the parents, the families, and the scholarship recipients one more round of applause. You're on a golden opportunity. There's also a little clock here to keep us on schedule. So I'm going to try not to hurry through these. I was talking to Trip Witter. I was telling Trip and Dory, I was telling Trip has the all-time greatest name. Trip Witter. He should have been like a quarterback or a that's just I wish I had a name like that, Trip Witter. But I was telling Trip and Dory that there's not just 10 principles, there's 20. But you got to buy the book for the 20. And I'm working on a book, but I'm looking for a ghostwriter. So if there's someone here who's a ghostwriter or knows somebody who's a ghostwriter, get in touch with me. So back in 2009, April 20th, 2009, I had an epiphany. Now, I didn't even know how to say that word, let alone know what that word meant on April 20th, 2009. And I can't even tell you about the epiphany because you might call in a straitjacket and haul me out of here. But I had an epiphany that was so real, it scared the life out of me. Literally, I was frightened by what I saw. And I've told my wife this on numerous occasions. My parents, I had a moment of clarity. I saw it all. I saw this today. I saw myself standing in front, and I'm wondering, when is that going to happen? A guy who grew up stuttering mightily. Couldn't put, after basketball games, when they asked me, so Trent, can you tell us why you lost the game today? And I stuttered so bad, I'd say, well, you saw the game, you tell me. And here I am standing before you today talking. That's why I had to get that photo to have proof for myself. But I had this epiphany of two forces at play. There's so much happening in this, and I wasn't asleep. I was wide awake, folks. And I had these two forces at play, a positive force and a negative force. And they don't sleep. They're operating 24 hours a day. We're sleeping, they're working. And the thing about the negative force is the negative force, it doesn't play fair. It cheats, it changes the rules. Positive force need us to kind of keep the score even. And when I saw these two forces, I went, man, we need to wake up. I need to know more about this. So I started meditating. And what came out of that epiphany and out of my meditation are these 20 principles, which you're going to get 10 today. And the first principle, let me stop there, because if you're going to start meditating and trying to get in touch and be more awake and be more conscious about things, I got a warning for you. Adversity is going to show up. And adversity has shown up many a times. You have to read the book to get all the many a times adversity has showed up. And you know why it shows up? It shows up to make me prove my commitment to my 10 principles. And never before more apparent was on December 22nd, 2017. A lot of you may have read the story in the paper. About this time last year, the Wisconsin State Journal covered the story of me being attacked with a hate crime attack, where I'm minding my own business, walking at 10 o'clock at night, and a car rolls up and says, "Hey, N, F you and your little dog." And me being me was like, well, whatever. I keep walking. Then I hear the car door open. Yeah, you heard me. F you and your little chihuahua. And I heard somebody giggling and laughing, and I went, whoa. And I was scared. So I'm not going to stand here and say, hey, I'm Trent Jackson. I wasn't scared. I was scared. Visions of get out were going through my mind. And I tried to talk him down. I said, yo, man, chill out, man. It's obviously you guys been drinking. Chill out, man. Be cool. No, and then he comes walking up on me. Now, told you I grew up in Chicago and my mama didn't raise no food. So I had to defend myself. I had my little 9-pound dog. Well, Kathy says he weighs 10 pounds, but a little 9-pound dog. And now the leash is all wrapped around my legs, so I couldn't run. He's yapping, trying to protect me, and I'm being attacked. A number of things happened. I don't want to glorify it, make me seem like some big hero, but I broke the guy's nose. I picked up Sergio and I hauled home, talking to 911. If you listen to the 911 call, you'll see how scared I was. Oh, somebody help me! Somebody taking me out there. I come through the door. Kathy's standing there like, what the? And she hears the 911 call. And the next day, I'm mad. I'm angry. You don't attack me. I'm Trent Jackson. You don't attack me? I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed for my wife. The police came. I was embarrassed to sit in front of her and the police officers and share what had happened to me. That don't happen to me. I'm Trent. And I was angry. The next day, I talked to my sister, and she said, Trent, you know what? They attacked the wrong right person. And that triggered my 10 principles because I had forgotten them. Principle number 1 is love. Love for myself, love for my wife, my family, my children, my parents, my brothers, my sisters, my cousins, aunts, uncles, my neighbors, my city. Do I have to love these guys? Well, the Bible said love your enemies. You notice the Bible doesn't say like your enemies. You know? Because I did not like them, but I still had to demonstrate that principle of loving towards them. Joy is the second one. Joy has nothing to do with how you're feeling. It has nothing to do with your emotions, nothing to do with happiness. Joy comes from deep inside or from someplace above. Things could be falling down you see me standing up here. Trent's going to be in the Hall of Fame. Somebody was telling me, I think Jason was telling me, hey, Trent's drive. I heard you were talking about that Porsche you drive, and people see all the fancy cars. And you think, Trent ain't got a worry in the world. Oh, yeah, I got a lot of things going wrong. I just told you adversity is after me. Because I'm trying to live this certain way, challenges keep coming. So, joy, I rely on that. I rely on, hey, exhibit joy. Peace. Peace in my mind, peace in my spirit. This is what I meditate on. Peace in my soul, peace in my home, peace in my neighbor, peace in my family, peace at work. I meditate on peace. And then that meditation time told me peace ain't got peace. That's something to do with peace. You know what peace has to do with? Integrity. Peace has to do with integrity. Because you can be at peace, you can sleep good when you're not worrying, oh, are they figuring me out today? Huh? Is this the day they coming to get me because they finally figured me out? If you're resting in integrity, you ain't got to worry about that. If what you're thinking, I like to say, if what I'm thinking, what I'm doing, my actions, and what I'm saying, it's all lined up, I ain't got nothing to worry about. You ever been around somebody who tell a story and then you heard the story different? You say, I just heard him tell a story. He just told it different now. Integrity reminds me of the story that I heard a long time ago. It's about this preacher. And he's tired. He just preached 3 sermons on Sunday. He's making his way to church. He's meeting with this young couple who's getting married. So he's meeting with them on Monday morning at 7 o'clock. He's tired. He's dragging. He gets up. He doesn't have time to make his lunch. He rushes out the door. He gets on the bus. His bus shows up. He got his priest collar on. He gets on the bus, makes his way down the aisle. Give the bus driver his money first. The bus driver gives him his change. He's making his way to the back of the bus. There's a big sign up there that says, exit the back of the bus. So he makes his way back there. He finds his seat. He sits down and he's like, counts his change. He goes, oh, I gave him a $5 bill. He gave me back $5. Whoa, I have enough to buy me lunch today. Boy, God is good. That's not how it's supposed to work. So then he says, man, you know what, I better. So now he's fighting his way through the traffic because he's trying to get back up to the bus driver. The bus driver's looking at him through that mirror like, what is wrong with this man? People looking at him and they're going, well, he's a priest. Let's not say anything. We don't want God's wrath to come down on us. So everyone's quiet. He gets up there and he says to the bus driver, hey, you made a mistake. When I got on, I gave you $5. You gave me back $5. Here's the $2 for the ride. The bus driver said, I didn't make a mistake. I was in your church yesterday. I heard you preach this message on honesty. Just wanted to see if you were living. Patience. Patience is the fifth one. Now, I've wrapped patience nice and comfortable for you because patience to me really is a trust and a belief and my faith in God. But if I'm going to have faith and trust and belief without any patience, man, you messed up. If somebody walked in here right now and whispered in your ear and said, hey Bobby, hey Betty, there's $10 million in your account right now, and run out of here, you fall dead. I wouldn't. I'd be like, hey, I'm ready for that. You're not ready for that. You wouldn't know how to deal with that. So I pray for patience. I told you I saw this. It took 10 years for me to get here. Told my wife Kathy, hey, I saw me flying on a private jet. Yeah, and not to show off. Did I not tell you this, my Kathy? Not to show. I told her this 8-9 years ago. Not to show off. Like, look at my private jet. It's because I got to get from point A to point B because I ain't got time to waste with making that connection. And God forbid that on Saturday afternoon, I had a private jet at my call just like that. Princess Alphaya's private jet. Princess Diana's been on that jet. Just like that. You all know what happened to Coach Howard Moore. And what I learned, it devastated me. I don't think my Kathy has ever seen such raw emotions from me, ever. And I think I've gotten it out of me. But I called my good friend in Chicago and said, hey, we need the jet. He said it's on its way. We got on that plane, 35 minutes in the air. We're there at Willow Run Airport just outside of Ann Arbor. We're in the room with Howard. That was that epiphany. We've been on that jet a few times, going to bowl games, chilling, sitting over there, yeah, look at us, yeah. On this time, me, Coach Guard, Michelle, his wife, the coaching staff, nobody noticed we were on that private jet. It was such a sad day. How much time I have? I gotta rush through these things. 14 minutes, man, I ain't got that much stuff. Oh, okay. Oh, there's this thing on, y'all heard? Fifth, compassion. Compassion. Now, this one really got me that day. December 27th, all that happened. Compassion. You know, when I start to squeeze compassion, you know what falls out of that? You squeeze compassion, come out of there is kindness, gentleness, good person, friendly. Squeeze it a little bit harder, what starts to come out of there? Grace, mercy. You know what grace is? Grace is someone does something to you and they don't deserve you to let them off the hook. You were wrong, but I'm gonna let you off the hook. Mercy is I have the power to crush you. I have the power of the legal system to smash you. I'm gonna let you off the hook. When I broke that guy's nose, he's on the ground crying. you know what my instincts had to fight back? Because first thing they kicked in, I called him. I said, look at you now, crying like a little girl. And my instinct says, finish him, go get him. But I picked up my dog and I ran home. You know what? When you start to squeeze compassion a little bit harder, you get like 2 hands on it and you're squeezing it. What comes out of there is forgiveness. Falls right out. Forgiveness? What? Forgiving? What you said to me, tried to do to me? There were 3 things I wish that newspaper story had mentioned. When I was doing the story with Rickards, I said, can you make sure these 3 things are in this story? Yeah. I want everyone to know that reads the story. These people are not from Madison, Wisconsin. They were not born and raised in our town, 1. 2, I wanted people to know that when the police went 2 hours later to arrest the guy who started this whole thing, they found a 9-inch knife on him. The 3rd thing I wanted everybody to know, Trent forgives him. I forgive all of them. There's 3 of them. I forgive them. None of those things were in the story. You know, people think Trent's walking around mad. Look, ooh, Trent, ooh, there's Trent. I'm white. He might beat me up. That's not me. I wanted that to be conveyed in the story. It never made it in there. You squeeze it a little bit. You stomp on top of that compassion. You know what pops out? A new one popped out on me. Blew me away. Forgiveness. I don't even know if that's a word. Forgiveness. You've heard people say, I'll forgive them, but I'll never forget what they did to me. I ain't God. I forgive, but I'll never forget. I've been praying for forgiveness. That's crazy. I don't want Alzheimer's. I don't want, what's the other one? Dementia. I don't want any of that stuff. But I want the ability to forget. And I'm going to go right back to forgiving them after I'm done here today. The 6th one is wisdom. Wisdom to me is simple. People say, hey, he's a wise guy. Well, to me, wisdom is the what, when, where, and who. That's wisdom. I meditate on what am I supposed to do? Since I had this, tell me what I'm supposed to do. Told me, hey, I want you to start a sportswear company. Sportswear company? Compete with Nike and Adidas and those guys? I tell people, yeah, I'm thinking about starting a sports company. They think Trent's crazy. You know, he's like, oh, really? Good luck with that. Started it. I want you to name it. What do you want me to name it? Name it ROUGH. R-O-U-G-H. You know what ROUGH stands for? Reach out, you get help. Reach out, you got help. Reach out, you give help. Now people see it, they're going to see rough. Oh man, who that guy? Who that a-hole thinking he's rough? He ain't rough. And then they look behind the curtain and go, whoa, this is something completely different. When am I going to start this? When am I going to start this company? You're going to start it on December 12th, 2011. Because when you hit December 12th, 2012, 12/12/12, you're going to celebrate your 1-year anniversary on a rare day in time. There'll never be another 12. We'll never see another 12/12/12. Where am I going to do this? Madison, Wisconsin zone. Oh, wow, okay. I got you now. Who am I going to do this with? Who am I going to do this with? You're going to go see Ab Nicholas. Ab Nicholas, the Kohl Center next to that gym is the Nicholas Pavilion. The Kohl Center should have been named the Nicholas Center. That's another whole story. But Ab was my first scholarship recipient. I was the recipient of the first Ab Nicholas scholarship, 1985. I got to know him well. Get to know your scholarship donor. I forgot my allergy medicine today. I got in the car, I drove to Milwaukee. I'm thinking, man, I got my MBA, I got over 100-page business plan, I got my PowerPoint presentation ready, I got my PPO, I got my operating agreement, all that stuff is done, I'm ready. Ab, I'd like to come meet with you about something. Sure, Trent, come on over. Get to Milwaukee, I show up. Candace, his assistant, says, yeah, I'm going to set you up in the conference room. I got the PowerPoint things, everything set up. Just plug in right here, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, wow, Ab's coming in. Everything's ready. I got all my documents. I'm like, okay, I'm going to ask Ab. I'm a fundraiser. I know how to do this. I'm going to ask Ab for this when he comes. Ab came in, sat down, and said, hey, Trent. Slid everything back across the table at me. And my stomach just went, I went, oh my Lord. I was like, okay, I've been through this before. Just stay calm. He says, Trent, I'm not going to have time to look at all this today. He said, tell me, what is it you're trying to do? And what do you need? Luckily, I practiced my elevator speech. I said, Ab, I'm trying to start a sportswear company. It's going to be the #1 sports company in the world. It's going to overtake Nike and Adidas. It's going to be it, Ab. It's going to be it. And what do you need, Trent? I said, it's a big number. He said, Candace, got on the little speaker, Candace, can you bring the checkbook? I almost passed out. Candace came in, Ab wrote the check. He says, hey, Trent, look, I'm giving you this because I like you and I trust you. Now go do what you're trying to do, kid, and keep me posted. And he was out the door. I drove back to Madison on 94. I'm screaming, this is crazy! What just happened? I can't believe it. Oh, I can't believe this happened. People looking at me on the road like, whoa, calling. And then I remember my principles. Whoa, that was the wisdom. Who? The sixth one is understanding. I'm about to speed through these now. Understanding. When you read the book, there's 10 stories behind all these things. But understanding, what does understanding mean? So if wisdom is the what, when, where, and who, understanding must be the why. Why? So why did I come to the University of Wisconsin when I could have went to Duke or Michigan? Hey, I'm standing right here. Hey, you know, why did I get divorced 10 years ago? Man, my 2 children, everything. I would never met my beautiful wife, Kathy, who's been I call Kathy my Messiah. It's not sacrilegious. But I call her my Messiah because I was dead when she met me. I rose from the dead when I met Kathy. She raised me up. Why am I standing here today? I don't know why I'm standing here today. Why did that happen to my good friend, Howard? And I have to say, guys, on Saturday morning, that threw all of my principles on his ear. I was angry. I wanted to put God, I wanted to put the positive force on trial. Come and explain to me, you got to have a good answer today on why did this happen? And then it quietly said to me, hey, not for you to understand. If you understood, then you'd be God. And you ain't. So when I found myself 10 hours later in Howard's room, and we're golf buddies. We talk 2-3 times a week. We text every day. My Kathy's been in the car all day as I'm picking her up from work, and who's calling me? Howard. I'm like, I'm sorry, Kathy. What's up, Howard? What's going on? We talk. Kathy sits there, listens to our conversation. But during our golf time, I started to tell him about these 10 principles. And Howard was, man, that's good stuff, man. Man, you got to tell me more. Hey, send me that. I never send me that, Trent. That's good, man. And I found myself in his room. The doctor came out and said, I'm not at privy to share a lot. The doctor came out and told us, prepare yourselves. The person you saw on Friday yesterday is not the person you're going to see. I'm glad he did, because I had, even with that few seconds of preparation, I could not believe my eyes. His eyes are covered, wrapped with like a mummy, body just wrapped up, eyes are covered. The only thing out was his, and when his mother saw me, she says, Trent, glad you're here. Howard said, Trent, this is a nightmare. I'm going to wake up, Trent. I said, Howard, this is not a dream. This is not a nightmare. I don't know where that came from. Quiet. I kissed him on his burnt lips and said, Howard, quiet. Remember Lot. Remember we talked about Lot, L-O-T? He says, I said, all God asks us to do is to love, obey, and trust him, Howard. I don't know why this happened. He said, I will, Trent. I will. I said, can I pray? I prayed for the whole family. The hospital was in chaos. I saw professionals weeping and pain. I mean, people who are used to this type of stuff was in pain. I was just, it was grim. Everything just seems to get better. Howard's doing fine. He's up. He's had 2 skin graft surgeries now. He's doing better. And I said, Howard, somehow, some way, this is going to be flipped. I didn't expect to go that route. Knowledge. The 8th one is knowledge. And knowledge, then, if wisdom is what, when, who, and where, and understanding is the why, then knowledge is the how. How do I do these things? How do I get this stuff done? You know what they told me? Trent, you don't have to worry about trying to get these things done. We're going to send people your way who's going to know how to be send me my wife, Kathy, who's a marketing professional. Send me designers who design stuff. Hey, don't you think I didn't know the first thing about a sportswear company. The how was taken care of. I'm skipping ahead to the D's. All the D's. There's a lot of them. There's over 100 of them. I'll tell you some of them now. I meditate on discipline, determination, drive. My drive. My Kathy saw, she said, where were you? I got up this morning, I went for a 6-mile run. Where is Mary Burke? Is Mary Burke here? Is Mary Burke here? There's Mary. Mary, I just told you I went for a 6-mile run this morning, and my wife got up. She said, where were you? I said, I went for a run, 6 miles. I took the dog for this little run. Where'd you see me at 9:15 today, Mary? And what was I doing, Mary? I ran another 4 miles. That's drive. I'll finish there. I'll finish by saying this, that all the D's, there's a lot of them. I can't get through them all and won't try to. Deliverance. Some of us need to be delivered from some stuff. Delegation. Being able to delegate, dance, dodge, have a defense, decisiveness, doggedness, but the negative force has its D's as well. Distraction, discouragement, disunity, disappointments, distractions, deception, dizziness. There's a whole bunch of them. By the book. The last one is courage. And I meditate on courage. You know what courage is? Being bold. Standing on your principles. The Bible said when Joshua was taking over the people from Moses, the Bible said God told Joshua, be courageous. And then he doubled down, said, be very courageous. I went, whoa. The Bible never used words like very and all. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to be very courageous. I'm going to be outrageous. I'm going to be very outrageous. And trust me, rough sportswear will take over the sports apparel industry. You watch what I say. Thank you.
Thank you, Trent, for speaking to us today. Thank you to our scholarship committee for making the arrangements for today's outstanding program. Congratulations to all of our scholars and guests. As we adjourn, I want to get a group photo of all the scholars. So please come up to the podium for a quick photo. I'm going to give the microphone to John Bonsonville, and he will help organize you. We are adjourned.
Congratulations.
Scholars.